Bitcoin pumped all the way to the $65,000. In this video I'm going to explain why Bitcoin is pumping and what we can expect next for Bitcoin. I will discuss Bitcoin on several time frames to prepare you for next week. There's a lot of interesting news coming into the market, but I will discuss that later with you in this video. I will also have a look at the two altcoins Cardano and Thorchain RUNE. So watch this video all the way to the end, like the video, and let's dive right into the charts. Bitcoin has been in this consolidation formation since the end of June, and I've been talking about this formation for weeks and weeks now with you. And yesterday we finally saw a huge beautiful break of the resistance line. We saw this horizontal resistance was very strong. Every time we touched this horizontal resistance we saw a big rejection, but yesterday we finally broke through after we almost reached this apex of this formation. And we can see a beautiful break just like we were expected. So there are multiple possible scenarios now, because we can also see that Bitcoin is coming back to this previous resistance to turn it into support, and this will be a very strong support. And if this support holds, you can enter the market here and maybe aim for higher targets, and this would have a very bullish price effect for Bitcoin. And we are now in this uptrend, so let's see if Bitcoin can continue the bullish price action to the top side. And it is the weekend again, so we are opening a CME gap again. We are opening the CME gap at $63,619, so we are opening it here. And yeah, we saw a little bit of a pump afterwards, but we also came back to this level. And we can expect that Bitcoin will be trading around this level during the weekend, and that would be very normal. So let's see if Bitcoin can close the CME gap at the end of the weekend, and if we do, we can trade freely during the next week. So I expect that Bitcoin will not see a lot of volatility during the weekend and eventually close the CME gap. And after we are close to CME gap, then we can see more exponential move for in the next week. And the big reason why Bitcoin was pumping yesterday is because the Bitcoin ETFs saw a very big inflow yesterday. We saw a total inflow of 252 million, and this is one of the biggest days in the history of the Bitcoin ETF. Of course, we saw a lot of more bullish days, but this is a very bullish day as well. We saw an $86 million inflow of the BlackRock ETF. The Fidelity ETF had a $64 million inflow, and the Bitwise ETF had a $42 million inflow. So that's insane. And we are now seeing this spike to the top side just like I expected. And let's see if we can come back to this $20 billion mark. And I want to see this next spike to the top side, just I've been talking about in my latest videos. And we can also see that we are already trying to break to the top side again here. So that's beautiful to see. And let's see if next week we can see the continuation of this bullish inflows. And we're already seeing a lot of consecutive days of bullish inflows for the Bitcoin ETF. And if we then have a look at the daily time frame for Bitcoin, we can see this horizontal resistance level I was been talking about with you in the latest videos in the last weeks. And every time we touch this certain resistance area, we saw a rejection from this point. So now we broke above this level, and that is beautiful to see. And let's see if Bitcoin can maybe retest the previous resistance as support and then aim for higher targets. And as I was saying, we created a low, we created a high, then we created a higher low, and now we are creating a higher high. And this indicates a trend reversal for Bitcoin. So this is looking very strong. Let's see if Bitcoin can come back, create a new higher low, and then again a new higher high. And that of course will be again a continuation of the bullish uptrend. And eventually we want to gain this previous high and create a new higher high after this. And if we do so, then we can finally conclude that we are in this new uptrend for Bitcoin. And eventually we want to break this resistance, and that will be around the $71,000 or $72,000. So let's see if Bitcoin can come back all the way to this huge resistance on the top side in the coming days and weeks. We want to see the resistance getting broken to the top side, and then we can reach for new all-time highs. And I also talk a lot about this chart on the daily time frame for Bitcoin with horizontal levels that act as support and resistance. We came back all the way from this lower side support, then we bounced to this resistance area. We retested this previous resistance as support, so this level was turned green because it's a bullish level now as support. And we came to this resistance again, and finally we broke it to the top side. So we can paint this level green now because it's the bullish support level. And of course we are coming back to this resistance area, and we can already see a bit of resistance coming into the market. So this horizontal level is the next big resistance for Bitcoin to break. And if we're going to see a break to the top side, we can maybe retest it as a support and then aim for higher targets. And then the next big resistance will be around the $68,000. But for now, we are seeing a little bit of resistance already coming into the market. So we could also maybe see a retest from this previous resistance as support and then continue the uptrend. And this, of course, will also be a very bullish way to see more price action for Bitcoin in the coming days. And this Bitcoin broadening wedge on the daily time frame is also looking very bullish. Of course, we bounced from this lower side support and we saw a beautiful bounce already. And from this lower side support, we are already up for more than 20%. So that is an insane gain for Bitcoin. And of course, congratulations if you bought at these kind of lows, just like I've been doing. Because this was a very interesting support level for Bitcoin. So buying at these lows was a very smart thing to do. So let's see if Bitcoin can come back to this upper side resistance again. And we will eventually want to see it break to the top side, of course. And another reason why Bitcoin was pumping is because Jerome Powell was speaking yesterday. And he was saying that the time has come for policy to adjust. And by that, he meant that he is going to see a rate cut in September. So eventually in September, we will see a rate cut. And this is going to be a very bullish for the stock market and also for the crypto market in general, of course. Because we can see the money printer is going to be turned on. So there will be a lot of more money inside the markets, which will pump up the price for Bitcoin and the crypto in general. And also the pro-Bitcoin candidate RFK Jr. suspends presidential campaign and he endorses Donald Trump. And he is pro-Bitcoin. And of course, Trump is also saying that he's pro-Bitcoin. So this could have also a very interesting effect on the price of Bitcoin later this year if Trump is maybe being elected as president. And the first interesting altcoin I want to have a look at is Cardano. We can see that Cardano is in this huge falling wedge on the daily time frame with multiple touch points on the top side as resistance and multiple touch points on the downside as support. Yeah, and currently we are bouncing from this lower side support, and from this lower side support we are already up for 25 or 26%. So that is an insane pump, of course. So let's see if Cardano can maybe eventually force a breakout, retest this resistance as support. From here you can enter the market in the long, and then we can aim for this big target here, because this is a very interesting resistance level for Cardano. And also I've been buying at these lows, so from these lows I'm going to take profit as these yellow lines, and let's see if Cardano can come back to these yellow lines. And from this lower side support where I said you could have been buying into the market for Cardano, to my first take profit will be around the 75%. And if we're going to pump higher, then we're going to see more of an exponential move, and that will be more than 110% increase. Let's see for now if Cardano can even come back to this topside resistance, break it to the top side, and then we want to see this next exponential move to the top side to this first take profit place around this huge resistance on the horizontal level. So let me know in the comments if you are still holding Cardano and what you think about the future of Cardano. And yesterday we also saw that Cardano is delaying its hard fork Chang. And Cardano will delay the highly anticipated Chang hard fork to September 1st. Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano, he confirmed the delay on a post on X. And the Chang hard fork update will bring Cardano's filter area into operation, and it is introducing decentralized governance mechanisms on-chain voting. And of course, Cardano is still a very big player in the crypto market, and eventually a lot of people are holding Cardano. And I think that Cardano can maybe see prices around the $5 in the coming bull market. The next interesting altcoin I want to have a look at is Thorchain RUNE. I've been talking about Thorchain RUNE while we were in this falling wedge formation on the daily time frame. We can see a huge falling wedge formation unfolding with multiple touch points on the top side as resistance and multiple touch points on the downside as support. Yeah, and yesterday we saw a beautiful breakout of this huge falling wedge formation on the daily time frame. And this is beautiful to see. And as I was saying, this breakout target of this formation will be the top side of the formation, and that will be confluent with the $9.50. So from the point of breakout, it will be an interesting gain of more than 140%. After this breakout, we can maybe see a retest of this previous resistance to turn it into support. And from this retest, you can enter the market in the long, and you can aim for higher prices. And this will be a very interesting trade to make. So let's see if RUNE can come back to this resistance area, test it as support, and then you can enter the market in the long and aim for high prices. But of course, we can also see that we're going to shoot further back up, and of course that could also be a possibility. So overall, Thorchain RUNE is looking very bullish after this bearish downtrend, and let's see what is going to be next for Thorchain RUNE in the coming days. Please give the video a like if you find the video useful, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.